There's a lot of talk about minimalism today, and you might be wondering, is it right for me? Is it something I can do? Or is it just a trend that's gonna pass? I mean, when I hear about minimalism, it sounds nice, but then sometimes it can feel like it's overwhelming and there's a lot of work that's required and doesn't really suit me and my personality. Like, that's how I would approach it if I didn't know so much about it already. Because of course I've done a lot of work on minimalism in the past few years. So what I wanted to do in this video was break minimalism down for you into some really easy and approachable ways that you can incorporate it into your life. Even if you don't want to go full-blown minimalist, these are some ways that you can bring the essence of what it means to be minimalist or live a more minimalist lifestyle into your space and your home and your mindset. All right, so without further ado, here are 6 ways that you can live in a more minimalist way. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. And a special thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. We've got more about that coming up at the end of the video, along with a special offer, so stay tuned. We got a comment on one of our decluttering videos. So just so you guys know, we do read as many comments as humanly possible. We get hundreds and hundreds a day, but one stuck out to us, so I wanted to address it here. And somebody said, Melissa, how can I take decluttering advice from you when you went from living in a small house to moving into a much larger home? And it's true, we did jump in square footage moving into this home. But what Chad and I have tried to do in this space, and I think we've done it quite well, is we've learned to embrace open, empty space. Now, I'm not saying that I want to live sparsely with nothing exciting or beautiful to look at, but in our old house, we just had a lot of stuff in there that wasn't serving us. And then once we managed to declutter and strip it down, and even to the day we moved, we were still doing that work. You know, it didn't make a difference because that space wasn't right for what we were looking for in our lives. We wanted a bigger home where we could have friends and family over and, you know, have kids and make memories. Like, we just wanted the space. Plus we had the yard and we had the pool. It was something that really meant a lot to us. So that's why we moved into this house. We didn't move into this house because we wanted to fill it with more stuff. So in fact, no matter what space you're in, so long as it suits your needs and your lifestyle, there's a way that you can approach minimalism by simply living in a space that's not cluttered. So instead of the urgency to find a room and like find things to fill it with, and I'm not saying not to decorate, but I'm just saying to be mindful about the way you decorate it. So don't clutter up a space with extra things that you don't necessarily need. Be very careful, particular, and mindful about how you set your spaces up so that you're not just filling them out. Because of course, anytime you see a large open space, our urge is to want to fill it with stuff, but that's when you can sort of teeter onto the side of being a little too cluttered and not living in that minimalist lifestyle. So it's a little bit of a mindset change. Admittedly, I'm not the best at tidying up, although I have to say in my years since starting Clean My Space, I am much better than I used to be. One of the things that I know makes a huge difference for me, and I know has made such a big difference for many of you, is to tidy up nightly and to put things back in their home or in their place. Now this habit, when I do it, you know, Chad and I kind of share duties, so sometimes I do it, sometimes he does it. When I do it, it helps me know and kind of take inventory of everything that I have. So I have a really good understanding of, do I have to add something to my shopping list? Is that a duplicate? Wait, where does this thing go? Oh gosh, I have to file that. Like, there are just inherent tasks that have to happen when I'm doing this tidy up. And that is so important because your house or your home is sort of like, it's this living, breathing thing, and the things that flow through it are like blood flowing through veins. You know, it's moving, it's changing, it's dynamic, and we have to be attentive to that. So if we're not doing that, things get cluttered up and you can't live in this sort of minimal, clean space. The other thing about minimalism is when you're doing this tidying up, it makes you think about each and every item. And perhaps you'll notice, I don't need this anymore, or this piece of paper, this happened to me this weekend. I saw a pile of paper, I said, this has been here for too long, I'm dealing with it now. So when you're doing stuff like that, it really encourages you to be very critical of anything and everything in your space and deal with it, because one eyesore is really gonna start to drive you crazy. And that's coming from me, a recovering slob. Over the past couple of years, I've changed the way that I shop. I used to just go out and buy something if it was cute or if it was on sale or if I kind of just liked it. But I realized that that was the stuff that was clogging up my closet that I would barely wear. So over, the past few years, when we've shot some of our closet clean out videos, some of our minimalism and decluttering videos, it's really changed the way that I go out shopping and the way that I think about buying new clothes. So I want to share with you 2 things that have really changed. So the first one is to visualize what that item is going to do for me when I actually get it. So for example, this sweater, I picked it up when Chad and I were in Texas. I bought it at Target, and I stood in Target and I looked at it and I'm like, that can go with jeans, that can go with black leggings. That's great as a layering piece. It's cozy, it's a little bit trendy, the price was right. So all of those things I really thought about, and then I started to remember that moment in Clueless where Cher had, that app looking thing where she could mix and match her outfits? I started to mentally do that and think oh, I could wear it like this, I could style it like that. And then I thought, you know what? This purchase actually makes sense. So I picked it up. But I can't tell you how many sweaters, actually Chad can attest to it, he was in the change room with me. There was a stack of sweaters that I did not take because I didn't have that same feeling. So thinking about the way that you're gonna wear the stuff once you actually get it. And then the next thing I would say is to do this kind of mental interrogation with yourself. So if you're struggling with something, you're picking it up, or let's even say you're online shopping and you see something and you're like, maybe I should get that. Yeah, it's inexpensive. I could use it, in A, B, or C circumstances. You might feel compelled to pick that thing up. You can start to interrogate yourself. When will I wear it? Where will I wear it to? Do I already have something like that? Is it worth the money? So you can start playing devil's advocate or interrogating your busy shopper in your head. And that really helps. So the next time you feel like you're struggling and you want to go shopping, you want to get some retail therapy, just take a step back, visualize the outfit in your home, in your closet, working with the stuff that you already have, and then ask yourself a bunch of questions and really be honest about the response. You'll see it makes a big difference and you actually end up buying stuff that you really love. I have an experiment for those of you who want to stick your toe into the pool of minimalism but aren't quite sure how to get there. Here's what to do. All of the surfaces in your home, you're going to clear everything from those surfaces. You're going to find a home for wherever those items need to go temporarily. Now the period of time you're going to try this experiment for is up to you. You can do a week, maybe 2 weeks, but the idea here is you're just going to experience what it feels like to live in a very sparse home, very clean, clear, decluttered space. Now, you might think, but I need this thing here. You'll find a drawer for it. Trust me, you'll manage. But the idea here is you come in and you realize, how do I feel about living with less? How do I feel about having less stuff on my surfaces? And then when your prescribed period of time is over, perhaps you only want to put half the things back on your surfaces. Perhaps you'll really think about what you're going to put on your surfaces. You'll be more deliberate about it. You see, the problem that we encounter so often as humans is we just get used to things. We don't really pay attention to things because we have to put so much on autopilot to focus on the things that we really do need to work on. So a lot of the clutter just becomes background noise, but it does build up over time. So shocking your system like this really helps you second guess everything that you have in your home. It's a great experiment to try. When you see an item in a space, like I was just saying, you can so often just put blinders on and ignore the things that are around you, because if you paid attention to everything all the time, you'd be super overwhelmed. However, if you do take that mindful approach and look around your space and say, why is that there? Do I need that there? It can really help you refocus and reconsider what you have in your home. The other thing is to think about the origin story of how that item got there. Did you just get it because it was on sale and it looked cute for a few minutes, but it's now there and you don't really want to get rid of it because you paid money for it, but it doesn't really match or you don't know where to put it? Like, so many things in our homes have that as its origin story. So if you are going to have things in your home, take that very deliberate approach. Look at what those items are. Think about them. Consider them. Do they have meaning? Are they important to me? What is their origin story? Was it something I totally loved? Was it something I'd gone on vacation? Was it something that, just really spoke to me in a big way? those are the things you should keep. But the things that you just have for the sake of having them, those are the things that clutter up your space. Living with less isn't just a one-time event where you go through and declutter your home. It's an ongoing thing. It's a mindset, a mentality. It's a way that you have to live. Not only is it going to affect the way that you're out in the world and the way that you are online in terms of your shopping habits and what you choose to bring into your home, but it'll also change the way you look at and relate to all of the items in your home. So for example, when you're getting dressed, perhaps you look in your closet and you see something and you're like, I haven't worn that in a while. And then you do that little interrogation thing to yourself. And then you realize there's actually no need for me to have this anymore. And you just get rid of it. It's so amazing because this has happened to me and I was the opposite. I used to love having a big closet, but now I'm so mindful about everything that's in there. And if I don't love it and if I'm not gonna wear it regularly, I just give it away or I get rid of it. And I'll tell you, it really changes the way that I make purchases now too. So be mindful, be particular, and remember, this is an ongoing thing. Anytime you step into a room, open a fridge, open a closet, ask yourself, is there something that does not belong here anymore? Back when I started my cleaning company in 2006, I had to hire someone to build our websites for us, which was my then boyfriend, Chad. I wish we, well, more so he, had a tool like Squarespace available to us. You can create a beautiful website or online store with award-winning templates and receive 24/7 customer support. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform to create your website. Simply go to squarespace.com/cleanmyspace to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. So those are 6 things that you can do to bring minimalism into your life. And that brings me to this week's comment question, which is, you obviously clicked on this video because minimalism means something to you. So I'd love to know in the comments down below, how has it changed the way that you live? And what has been your #1 tip for living a more minimalist life? You know, I can say whatever I say in videos, but I find so often that the comments are just teeming with good ideas. So please be generous and share what has worked with you. You never know the way your story can impact someone else. Here are a couple of other videos I think you're going to love. And if you want to learn more about Maker's Clean microfiber cloths, you can click this button right over here. There is a button down there that lets me know you care. So click it if you liked this video and click this button right here to subscribe and begin your journey to a cleaner life. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.